never stall. Two dudes in the dark, trashing it all. Cinema Showcase, rolling the reel. Brendan and Justin keeping it real. Blockbuster hits or total disgrace. Your front row now. It's Cinema Showcase.
All right, we are back.
Back again.
Cinema Showcase. Episode
I love it.
3.
I can't believe we made it this far.
Against all odds. You know what I mean? Against all odds.
Exactly.
So you have seen movies this week, you said.
Yeah. I saw. I have a couple good ones.
Okay. You
That
got
I
recommendations.
think I got some recs. I actually posted them on the Instagram. So
I
if
saw
you're
that.
not,
I like that.
if people that are listening, or just happen to stumble upon this page, follow us on Instagram. I'm throwing some recommendations out there. You know, for a nightly watch, people always have a tough time. I don't know about you, but I'll dig through Amazon Prime for like an hour before I
Yeah.
find something.
Yeah.
It's a problem. But yeah, I watched Queen of the Ring,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is so the movie is about the first female athlete that ever made $1 million, and she happened to be a professional wrestler between the 30s and the 50s, and women of wrestling were banned, so they weren't allowed to wrestle. She basically pioneered women's wrestling. And I know it's like, oh, Justin, he loves wrestling. That's all he cares about. But this movie is incredible.
I saw the trailer. It looks great.
It's shot so beautifully. The actors absolutely crushed it. Um, couldn't recommend this movie anymore if you like dramas with like a little action. Obviously, there's wrestling in it.
Yeah.
The other movie that I saw was called, oh geez, why am I blanking on the name? Shop Corner.
I'll
Do
tell
you
you in a
remember the
second.
name?
I'll tell you in a second. Go ahead, because I can just pull it up. Go ahead.
So this movie is, I don't want to say mind fuck because I don't think that really kind of describes it. It's just you watch this guy, him
Shop
and his
Corner.
family,
Yep.
Shop Corner. So him and his family buy a house. They move into this house, right? And it's been the market. It was on the market for like 6 months. It's a beautiful house. So I think like they move in the first night there. They sleep. There's like a massive car accident in front of their house, and like the guy dies. So now, like as this movie's progressing, like more and more accidents keep happening in front of this guy's house, and he just becomes like utterly unhinged.
Yep.
And I can't think of the lead actor's name. He's been in a million movies. Um, what's the movie with Justin Timberlake where they kidnap
Alpha
the
Dog?
kid? He's in Alpha Dog. He plays the older brother
Yep.
of the
Yeah,
kid that gets
he's one of those
kidnapped.
like guys who's been in like a ton of shit, but I don't know his name.
He's so underrated
Yeah.
because he plays like such a skew of characters. It's so good. That movie is
I wonder how
tremendous.
like frustrating that is. I shouldn't say frustrating, it's probably not the right word, but like
To not have people remember your name.
well, no, I mean just like to be right on the cusp of like I forget who was talking about recently. Some like pretty big it was Casey Affleck. He was on Sean O'Brien Jr.'s dad's podcast, Better Bad Ideas.
Okay.
And he's like, I can count like the actors I know that have like $1 million in the bank, like on a hand. Like he's like,
What?
he's like, they're out there. He's like, I'm related to one of them. He's like, but like the ones that I know personally, you know what I mean? He's like, there just aren't as many as you think because, you know, he's like, you get a job and, you know, he's explaining it. He's like, you know, he's like, let's say you get in a Netflix show, right? And it's like, they give you 300 grand or 400 grand, but you're locked up for like 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's like, a good portion of that goes to your manager, a good portion goes to somebody else. Then some of that goes to taxes. And he's like, and then you're not really going out for roles while you're doing that role, unless you're very well known. He's like, you know, so all of a sudden you're out, you made a couple $100 grand and then you got to pay taxes on it. And then, you know, now you're looking for another job. So he's like, you could be unemployed for like every time you're out of a movie, you're out employed. So he's like, you can be, kind of, it's tough way. It's tough because it's like you can't really tough to plan your life around that. You know what I mean? Like, what's his name? The fuck. Now I'm not gonna remember his name. He's fucking tremendous actor. The guy who is the lead in Better Call Saul. Um,
Oh yeah, he's great.
yeah,
I think he was like a writer on The Simpsons and shit. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure.
Before
I
he,
just throw facts out there.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We gotta recant that. Stanley and Jason Lee are not related.
I mean, they got the same last name. Fuck off.
As far as we know, as far as Jason Lee knows.
Yeah.
But like Bob Odenkirk is his name.
Bob Odenkirk, that's right.
He was like on the verge of bankruptcy, like before he got that movie, and he's a successful, he's a working actor,
Yeah.
So it's not like I think it's, I just think it's got to be kind of one of those weird things where it's like, like who's, it's funny. I always thought of this because I saw there was a random. This is there was the dog whisperer, whatever the guy's name is.
Caesar Milan.
Cesar
Why do
Millan.
I know that? And why do I pull that
Yeah,
name?
yeah. You don't know Bob Odenkirk. He like he had what's his name's sister on there. The guy who plays he's in Reservoir Dogs. He cuts off the ear. He plays Mr. White, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Pink. No, Mr. White. Madden, right? Michael
Mhm.
Michael Madsen. His sister, Victoria Madsen, I think. She's like a very well known actress. She did a ton of stuff. And like she was like training her dog or kids there at her house, and her house is like nothing fucking special out in LA. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
ranch. It just I think you always think, oh, these people must just be fucking loaded. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but
you also
how
live
much
in
a house is in fucking LA though?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's why they always said like the people who got like sitcoms back when sitcoms were like really prevalent, like that was how you wanted to if you wanted to make money, like you want to be on that. You know what I mean? Because you get syndication and like, the people from Friends and stuff like that. But if you're
They're
like
still making money.
yeah, but if you're like a character actor, like, like I've told this story on Pulling the Cork, but my buddy, he lives in Ireland and he runs cross country. He's like a great runner.
Hmm.
He used to run versus Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's my guy.
And Daniel Day-Lewis, his cousin, works for like the electrical company and went out and fixed his electricity one night. And he's like, just has a regular ass house, like just fucking invited them in for tea. Like he's like real regular dude. But like, I mean, obviously Daniel Day-Lewis has probably made a shitload of money, but he's only made like fucking 10 movies or something like
Have
that.
I
Like,
told you my Daniel Day-Lewis story?
no.
So, for those of you who don't know, like my profession, I work in the service industry and I'm managing a restaurant in the North End, right? And we had outdoor patio seating. And this guy, he's like, looks wicked homeless. You'd like never think like he just looks like a homeless guy, right? And I'm like, I shoot him off the patio. I'm like, hey, we don't open for like 2 more hours. Like you can't sit out here. And this guy like ended up coming in the entire summer, like every 2 days, and ordered the same thing. He got a veal Milanese, which is a fried veal cutlet, and a side of spinach. So when I tell you I've had maybe 50, 60 conversations with this guy, right? So he comes in one day, does like his normal fucking order, grabs his food, he stands there, you have conversation with him while he's waiting for his food, and he leaves. And the customer behind him goes, hey, do you know who that was? I'm like, no, absolutely not. He goes, that's Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm like, no, it's not. It's absolutely some homeless guy. It's absolutely not Daniel Day-Lewis. So I looked at his credit card, and sure enough, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. And I have a picture. I'll send you the picture. It's 1,000% Daniel Day-Lewis. And the amount of conversations I had with him, it's like just a completely normal person. You would never know.
Yeah.
He was his kid went to school at like BU or BC, so he moved down here with his kid while he was in school, and he was working. And I'm sorry, he was taking classes of violin making, so he was learning how to make violins. Wild.
Yeah, that is insane. Yeah, I mean, it is, I don't know. It's always, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I guess, it's more obvious in music that like people who would be your favorite musicians, like there was a guy who I used to play shows with, and he had a great song and a great line that was like, "There's what do you do when you find out all your heroes live in vans?" Like it's like like most musicians don't make a great living. You know what I mean? Like
They sure don't.
a few make an unbelievable living. But like a lot of them just don't. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a very heralded like session musician or and you're just in Nashville doing sessions, like they make like a regular living. You know what I mean? They're not like fucking.
Well, the writers are making probably most of the money, like ghostwriters and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people, producers or whatever, that do, but like, it's
Hmm.
very much like any other industry where it's like, financial world or whatever. It's like there's people that are making like a decent living, but like there's a lot of people that are like not really killing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's people at the top who are just crushing, and kind of.
But I'd rather make, 150,000 a year making music, and you're just like, yeah, you might have a deadline to write like an album, but you got like a year and a half or 2 years to do it. It's not like it's, hey, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to be at work at 7, to work 8 hours doing the most monotonous shit every single day and just praying for my vacation to come through, you know?
Yeah,
And
but it's
then,
like, yeah, but like anything else, it's like everything comes with like the ups and downs of whatever that is, right? So it's like you're
of
only as good
course,
as that last album. You know what I mean? Like we've talked about it. It's like the sophomore album. It's like you put your first 10 on the that you've been written for fucking 10 years on this album and it gets hits, and then all of a sudden like it's like, all right, well, unless you can keep writing hits, like
it's
kind of
not
made your
easy.
money. You know what I mean? Like NFL
I,
running back.
uh, I like have a knack for writing choruses. I think that's like my strong suit. I always find like verses to be much tougher. And for me, writing, and it's funny because I literally wrote a song yesterday. I think it's fucking awesome. But it's like, yeah, okay, I might have wrote like one song, but like nine more or
Yeah.
12 more, who knows what the hell's gonna happen?
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. It's like, yeah, it's not like a you don't it's not something that like you can just control, like
Mm-mm.
where everything else is like, even all the like you said, the professional songwriters that are in Nashville or whatever. It's like, it's not like every album that whoever puts out is like a fucking just full of bangers. You know what I mean? There's plenty of songs on there that are just on there.
Well, like the times change so much too. Like, look at Blink 182. Blink 182 wrote like two incredible, maybe three incredible albums in a row. Then they took what, like 10, almost 10 years off. And it's like, yeah, okay, they got back together, they broke up, they wrote an album, they got back together. But every album, it's like, I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing because like of the time period I was in when it first came out, why I loved it so much, but like none of it just resonates with me now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time and place is a lot of it. You know what I mean? Definitely
Yeah.
is. And the other thing is, like I've always said this too, it's like what once you've kind of seen, you know, for most artists, like once you've seen the party trick a little bit, like it's like, all right, well, there's not much new coming out. Like I've had that conversation with a buddy of mine that listens to a lot of the same music. It's like there's not much new on this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. Um, but anyways, yeah, so I didn't get to watch much new this week, but we both saw a movie a couple weeks ago, and I think we feel differently about it.
We sure do.
The movie's Warfare,
Yeah.
which came out like I don't know, like a month and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So just I'll give the quick synopsis of it. Basically it's like 7 or 8 guys in in whether they're like I don't know if they're supposed to be special forces, they're Marines or whatever, and they're in like basically in the Middle East, and their like their house that safe house they're in is getting attacked by like a group of people. Now I will stand with what you're gonna say, which I think you're gonna say is boring, right?
Eh,
It was written by people who were actually this was a true story. It was written by the guys who had this happen to them.
if you had my text in front of you, I said this is gonna be hard for me to knock because it's a true story, and I respect the shit out of like
Yeah,
anybody that goes to war and
sure.
is in the military, like for sure. So like, don't take this the wrong way, but there is a but. This movie, it's like the runtime, let's say, is
90
maybe an
minutes.
hour. 90 minutes. So 60 minutes is them just looking out a window. They're looking out windows and then they're swapping positions. They're talking on the radio. There's maybe 30 minutes of like, if you're gonna make a war movie, like make a war movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that it was so real that like, and I think the thing that was so glaring was like most war movies you see, like Black Hawk Down, which is also a true story, but like you got in this movie they had people the right age play the parts, right? So that was
Yeah,
glaring was that you're like, these are fucking kids. Do you know what I
of
mean? Like
course.
like these
Yeah,
guys are 23, 22. You know what I mean? Maybe some of them are under 21, you know?
yeah.
Um I thought it was interesting and worth a watch. But I can see I can see the point. I definitely almost fell asleep at the beginning.
What I would say is I would not go to the movie theater to see this movie.
No.
I would still give it a shot. I always tell people form your own opinion. Don't just like take my word for it or Brendan's word for it. Definitely see a movie, form your own opinion. But it's a lot of like looking out the window, shooting the shit, and then like a couple explosions happen, and then two people like just screaming on the floor, and then the movie's over.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
It was very realistic.
Yeah. So for me, that was what I liked about it. Was that I thought it was like pretty realistic. I thought it was like a good that,
Did you hear them
that
bang?
was realistic.
how,
Uh
how was that for realistic?
how's that for realism? Uh
They
yeah,
just didn't. They
there's
didn't
no
movie it up.
there's no music in it. It's like literally like you're in the situation with them.
Yeah, they didn't
Um
movie it up.
Yeah, it was funny because, like I said, I saw that back-to-back days with Sinners, and obviously Sinners is a much better or much more entertaining film. I actually went back-to-back movies one weekend with Nosferatu, the new one, and I saw the Bob Dylan movie the next day with Timothy Chalamet.
Okay,
And I thought, like, in my mind, is that Santino just blasting
just
something?
pummeling the bedroom door, and his mother just letting him do it.
This is what you get on Cinema Showcase.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, this is real life. You know, right before I came in here, my daughter stepped on a piece of glass, and I was trying to get it out of her foot.
It's like they just like they never know we got stuff to do. It's
No,
like
no,
I don't want to be pulling glass out of your foot right now.
no. Yeah, exactly. And then I definitely don't want to be taking you to the ER tomorrow, which I feel like is the direction it's going. You know what?
Absolutely not.
Well, it would be better if you were like, this house is haunted.
It is. I think. I don't know. It's not my house is haunted. It's my fiance and my kid are haunted. That's what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I like. I wouldn't say. Let's put it this way. It's not something I would be like ever watch it again. But for what it was, I was like, I thought it had some cool stuff to it.
It did. Oh, like absolutely. And I'm not going to completely knock the movie. I think it was super realistic, like uber realistic to the point where the film was very, very unique.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure that people that have experienced that in their lives, they like my buddy was a tanker. I'm sure if he's seen that movie, he'd be like, this movie is like dead nail on the head. Like couldn't have been any better.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would give it like a. We usually do hundreds, right? So I would say it's like
Yeah.
for me, it's like an 81. But like it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not a date movie. It's like um, you gotta be kind of like in the time and place to watch it. It's not. It's not. It's definitely not like it's not gonna pump you up. It's not gonna make you feel great.
No, it's a one-off movie. Like it's hard for me to break into the 80s. I would say 76.
Yeah, yeah, we're in the same neighborhood. So with the movie we're going to talk about tonight is Shot Caller. Now I picked this. I actually saw your cousin Al today because we had to get together for something for this golf tournament I'm doing. He's
Yeah,
like, you guys just picking these deep cuts. I'm like, I'm picking movies I like to watch. What do you want me to tell you? You know what I mean?
exactly. And the problem is too, it's like, yes, we can talk about new movies after maybe a couple weeks, but like we said before, not everybody can go to drop everything and go to the movies. Not everyone is like my cousin Al, doesn't have to fucking work. and he can just go golfing or go to the movies and coach his kids t-ball all the time.
I like, and to that point, like that was a movie that was recommended to me a couple years ago,
Hmm.
and I've now watched it 3 times. I watched it again this week. I love this movie. I get so it doesn't score monstrously great on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't really give a fuck about anyways, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I'll give a little bit of the synopsis. We could talk about certain aspects of it as we go, break it
Hmm.
up a little bit. So essentially, it stars the main guy from Game of Thrones, who, without butchering his name, it's like Nicholas, like
Nikolai Costa Valdu.
yeah, and so he plays the Kingslayer, and
Yeah, he's Jamie Lannister.
he's Jamie Lannister. I
This
think
movie, by the way, as far as cast goes, is like a who's who of
nails.
TV, who's who of TV actors.
Yeah, and you're getting like John Bernthal before people really kind of knew how good John Bernthal
I
was.
think this is Punisher, John Bernthal.
Yeah, yeah,
They,
yeah.
they really went like full, like amazing TV actors.
Lake Bell, the guy who's and you have it in front of you, I'm sure the guy who plays the dad in Iron Claw. Um, he's in it.
Um,
He plays
the
Beast.
dude from Power,
Yep. Uh,
Ghost from Power's in it.
yep.
Lake Bell, you said, she's in Boston Legal.
By the way,
Uh,
Lake Bell is a gas can. That's a
oh my
fact.
God, it
Like,
doesn't even make sense.
no, she is gas.
You said John Bernthal, obviously. He plays
Yep.
Shotgun, Punisher, Walking Dead. Um, Jeffrey Donovan, he he plays Bottles.
Yep.
He's from
fucking
Burn
awesome.
Notice.
He's awesome in it.
So good.
It's funny because the first time
Uh,
I watched him, like, where do I know this guy from? And it was like Burn Notice is like so different than what this is. You know what I mean?
I know. And Sicario, he's in. Well, he's like kind of. He definitely put like some weight on for this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know for this movie, but like he put some weight on.
Yeah.
The dude Holt that you said, the dude that plays
That's
Beast,
yep.
Mindhunter.
Yep.
You ever
Mindhunter.
watch Mind? Oh, what a
Great.
great friggin'
Excellent
show.
show. Excellent show.
Yeah, I
So
mean, so it's like a who's who
yeah.
of TV actors for sure.
Yeah. So essentially, the base of the story is you're introduced to it, and it's you got a guy who's a stockbroker. He's out in L.A. He's got one kid, and him and his wife are out to dinner with another couple, and he has like a bottle of wine, and he acts like it's almost intimated that he's not really drunk, but he just kind of fucking has an oversight, like they're having a conversation.
Yep.
And ends up that he basically hits somebody and his buddy in the back seat dies, or his buddy's. I can't remember if he's driving shotgun, but
He's in the back seat,
he's in the
and
back seat.
it's actually the dude from New Girl.
Yeah, yeah. So he's dead. So now this guy's facing 16 months of like real prison time, and
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
takes like a plea.
yeah, takes a plea, and he's basically like, I'll be out in 16 months. So now he
Mhm.
goes inside. When he gets inside, he realizes like the first thing that happens is he hears some guy basically getting fucking raped, like his first night there. And he's like, I gotta fucking basically do something here, or I'm gonna be the next fucking person. Cause he's a great looking guy. Like people are just like ready to pick him up.
He looks like a stockbroker,
Looks like a stockbroker. Yeah.
like an all-American stockbroker.
Yeah. So essentially he gets into one fight and then he gets recruited basically by the Aryan Nation in there. To be like, to do something for them. Like they basically are like, you got to basically bring these drugs through, like put it in your ass, basically, and get it out. And time goes on. They end up getting into a big melee on the yard, and he ends up stabbing a guy, and his sentence goes to 9 years. So now he's inside. Now he's like rising through the ranks.
Yeah,
That's
he's
that
doing
whole
like 11 years now because
Yep.
it gets added on.
Yeah. And his name's Money which is fucking great. It's just a great writing, in my
Well,
mind.
for stockbroker, the
Yeah.
writing in this movie
Yeah.
is unbelievable because the thing is too is like it's very non-linear the way that
Yeah.
this movie's portrayed. It bounces back and forth from present to past
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. And uh the other thing that was I was doing some of the research on it. So it's funny because it made 3.4 million box office. It was
Yeah,
debuted at Los Angeles Film Festival, I think, in 2017. Shot in
yep.
15, but like the rights of it were in like limbo because the company that had it lost the rights to it or they went bankrupt, I think. There's something media, realistic media or something like that.
Yep.
So like it may have had a bigger presence than it did. Sometimes those movies that happens, like they get picked up and then they get dropped by something, and then somebody else picks it up, and then it just doesn't. It loses like the steam it had. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
in theory, it kind of plays like a B movie, right? Like it's like a great B movie is like the way I look at this movie. I love prison movies, anyways. Prison movies are fucking great.
Yeah, it's like a prison gangster movie.
It's a prison gangster movie. I like any movies with like fucking white, like ridiculous white supremacists in it.
And the budget was only $9 million. So it's
Yeah,
like it wasn't a ton of money. And for the cast that they have for the amount of money, like you could I feel like all the money went into the cast and went into shooting. They did not do any marketing for this movie.
no,
Like
no,
zero.
no. Like I never knew about it till it was on streaming. You know what I mean? I hadn't even heard of
Yeah,
it. And I think
yeah,
the only reason it got a little buzz when it hit streaming was because that's when Game of Thrones was starting to really fucking catch steam.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And Jamie
so
Lannister's fucking the main character. So of
yeah,
course.
yeah. And so essentially what happens is he then gets out. He gets transferred to a different prison. And then he essentially gets out and basically he's told by the main, like the fucking leader of all this Aryan nation, like, if you don't like do the things we need you to do once you get outside, like you're fucking dead. Now, while he's inside, he basically tells his wife, like, go find another life. Like, cause he's afraid they're going to get fucking waxed basically or
Yeah.
get roped into this life.
Mhm.
So he goes out and he's got to basically do an arms deal with this other Mexican gang. And he gets hooked up to John Bernthal, essentially, who's like who's a white supremacist from the same gang, but he's on the outside. Um, and it's like a very kind of tense, like kind of like part of the movie. Like he's trying to like he doesn't quite know what to do, but he's got to basically do this essentially. And so he ends up
Well,
finding out that he's got his PO. His PO's watching him now because like he's kind of figured out that he's up to something.
his PO's
Um,
ghost from
from
fucking Power.
yeah, and essentially like the wife tries to come see him with the kid. That goes like kind of sideways. He just can't talk to the. He's like he has like an emotional breakdown basically, but he finds out that Bernthal's the one who's basically fucking shotgun's the one who's on the inside and who's working with the cops.
Yeah.
Um, so what ends up happening is he does the deal. He kills Bernthal. They get into like a little melee and he kills him. And then essentially what he does, he takes his phone and he texts the fucking he texts the detective or whatever the coordinates of where the deal's going down.
Yeah.
Gets arrested, right? Now he's fingered for Bernthal's murder, obviously. But basically the whole reason he does it is now if you want to watch it first, you got to stop it. Okay? We always say that. This is where the real spoiler comes in. It's a great scene. I think it's one of the best fucking ending scenes. It's so good. Essentially now he's in Supermax prison. And the guy, the beast, he gets sent out into the yard. Now there's holes in this for sure, right? Which we'll discuss later. Big holes.
There
Big
are.
holes. But
Yeah.
essentially gets taken out to these they're in these cages basically out in the desert.
Yeah.
And they're talking. The guy beast is basically like, I fucking know it had to be you because he was dead at 5:15 and the fucking text came in
Yeah.
at like 6.
Now I'm
right?
gonna fucking murder your whole family.
Yeah,
You're
he's like, now
fucked.
your fucking whole family's dead. You're fucking dead.
Yeah.
So he had slipped in like a fucking homemade key or something. Ends up putting the cuffs on. God steps away. While he's getting let out, he uncuffs himself. Basically locks the guard in there. Takes the guy beast out and fucking kills him. Right.
Yeah.
And then tells the guard like, you're gonna say it was self-defense. and I fucking own you basically.
I'm in charge
I'm
now.
in charge now. And now he's basically the head of it ends with basically he's the head of the fucking Aryan Nation from the inside.
Yep.
He's the shot caller, essentially.
Yep.
Um
Hence the name of the movie,
hence the name of the
Shot
movie.
Caller.
Yeah. And basically it's like a scene, I think at the very end where his son writes him a letter and is like, we understand we have to just let you go. We have to fucking go live our lives.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like unbelievably groundbreaking here in the story, right? Like, and some of the complaints about it are that it's a little cliche. One of the complaints that like was on this thing Reddit thread with like real prison movie views or something was that
Yeah.
like didn't focus on the mundane aspects of prison. Like, so you would say like that would be like in what's it called? Shawshank, right? Where they're just all around the
Yeah.
yard, like dicking around all the time. Most of the time is like that, right? It's like, dude, this is a fucking hour and 21-minute movie. It's not supposed to be about like working in the fucking mess hall. You know what I mean?
It's telling you a story of like what led him to be. It's like people are just so dumb. Like I wish I could grab that guy by the head and just shake it. They're telling you a story of, hey, this he's out of prison. Look at the transformation because this happened, because this happened, because this happened is now that is what led to this change of being of who he is now. So it's
Totally.
like you're an idiot. Whoever wrote that, like you're an idiot. But all right,
So here's like the example I was going to use, right? So you've watched Breaking Bad, right?
yeah,
Okay. So in Breaking Bad, like there's like a transition in this character, right? Walter White, right? He starts out, he's like a school teacher. But in reality, Walter White was always kind of like a fucking, this part of him was just waiting to come out, right?
oh yeah,
And he was bringing it out of himself, really. Like he would, use the, I guess the fucking crutch of like, well, I got to provide for my family. So this is why I'm doing meth. He always wanted to be a criminal. Like he always had that in him and basically admits it at the end, right? So even though it seems like he changes, he really was always that.
it's
And it
just
comes out.
showing his true
Just showing
colors.
his true
That's all.
colors. Whereas like in this movie, it's like, and obviously this was in him somewhere, but like basically like he's at a chance. He's just like, I either have to fucking survive. And it's funny because back when I was a kid, there was or like in my late teens, early 20s, there was a guy that we went to high school with who was like a bad fucking mamma jamma who went to prison for like 3 years. And he was a
Yeah,
tough fucking kid. And he comes out and he's got shaved head and he's got like a fucking rat tail and like he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, when you go inside, like he was totally different. And he was like, when you go inside, he's like, you can't just sit with anybody. Like he was explaining prison to us. Now you gotta remember, I'm fucking older, so like these movies weren't really around to describe what prison was really like. Like all we'd seen was like Shawshank, where they're all like kind of hanging out together. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get raped.
yeah.
Like, but he was explaining. I'm like,
Sometimes you might get raped.
sometimes you might get raped, but he's like, he's like, it's not even that you don't like black people. He's like, it's that like that's basically you can't be a fucking fence sitter in there. You have to
No,
be
you got to
like,
stick to your own kind. That's like that's 101 prison.
yeah. And I remember like somebody had said too, they're like it's a little different state prison because like you'll know more people from like around here, let's say, right? So like you might know 3 kids from Revere who are in there or whatever, right? It's a little
Yeah.
different. Whereas like when you're on like in federal prison, like Max federal prison, like
Yeah, it's
it's
a whole
not
different
fucking
game.
like that because you got people from everywhere, right? So it's
And they're
not,
all killers.
and they're all
And
killers.
like killers or just like brutal crime offenders. It's not like some identity theft.
Yeah, and it's funny because you know what they did too. I remember reading this originally when I saw it. I didn't do the research, I guess, but they make him look thinner at the beginning of the movie, like with a little bit of kind of crappy CGI. I feel like where he's
Yeah.
like a lot leaner than like as he gets into the movie, he like
Well,
is in
they
prison.
said they focused fully on practical effects in this movie.
Okay,
So I don't know if maybe I don't know. You could be right about the CGI thing, but from what I read, it's all practical effects.
okay, but like there's certain parts of this movie that just like pull me in. Like when he first is in, when he first gets recruited by like the guy Bottles and the Aryan Nation guys.
We'll set up how it happens.
So go ahead, you can do this.
It's one of his maybe let's say his second night in or
Yeah.
maybe it's his first day that
Yeah.
he's in the yard. He steps outside, and there's like this black dude standing there, not letting him come into the yard, and he like checks him, and the dude he just beats the piss out of this black dude, and then he gets fucking maced, and they separate him. Like he gets thrown in the shoe.
Yeah.
Now the very next day, well, it cuts right as they're dragging him out. It cuts to Bottles, which is John Barathol and like the Aryan Brotherhood dudes.
No, that's
And
John. That's the guy from Burn Notice.
yeah, but it
Right.
cuts to both of them.
But yeah,
And he's
Shotgun's
like,
there too.
yeah, Shotgun and Bottles, and he's like, that guy showed a lot of heart. You know, like go talk to him or whatever the case may be. Like see if he's down. So the next day, then he comes out and he's like, John Barenthal's like, yeah, come here, let me talk to you. He's like, you got to stick to your own kind. You can't be a fence sitter. Shit is gonna get super real for you in here. Like this is no joke.
Yeah.
Like he like they already did research on him. They knew he was a stockbroker. They already had his fucking number.
Yeah.
So all right, now go ahead.
Yeah. So, but then with that scene where he comes over to them, they're like working out, like this guy's lifting and shit. And it's like, see, I like the speed of the movie. So I think some people's complaints are like, I don't know, like I like the fact that it was like, so for me, it was like, I think about like, cause like, I'd be like the perfect person who this would happen to, right? It's like I'm soft as shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm like fucking playing golf.
I don't want to. Yeah, I do not want to get raped, and I don't want to get murdered.
And I will get murdered. Like so, like when they're just like basically like immediately they're basically like we're gonna expect you to fucking basically kill some people if like when shit goes off. Like first they make them like mule some drugs, right? That's the first thing that happens, and then essentially they're like we're getting in a fucking scrap on the yard, and like we're expecting you to fucking take somebody out. Like
well, he kills somebody first.
Yeah.
Well, that is that other actor. Like he's been in a ton of movies too. He's in Friday Night Lights. Is he? That kid?
I'm not sure.
He's in a ton of movies as well. But so he's like basically the Bottles tells him he's gonna earn his bones. He's like, there's a guy that's gonna snitch on us.
Yeah.
You gotta take him out. And he's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, no, you gotta get your hands dirty. Like if you're gonna ride with us, you're gonna ride with us. You're either with us or you are against us.
Yeah.
And we run this prison. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So you could see like they all get let out and they're in line and they point the dude out and they shove him back into the jail cell.
Yeah.
And the dude's got him held and Jamie Lannister's holding the knife and you could see him like just terror, pure terror on his face. Like, he does not want to be doing any of this.
Yeah.
But he knows his ass is next if he doesn't kill the guy.
Yeah. That's what I love about this movie. It's like the most visceral version of like survival. It's like either you're gonna fucking kill this guy,
it's super
and
great.
you're gonna pay the fucking price of what that is, or like you're basically fucking going to be killed. Like so, it's like you're either gonna take your shot at killing a few people, or like we're killing you. Like that's the bottom line, And like he's also assuming they know everything about him. You know what I mean? So like they know he's got a family, all this shit, right?
Oh yeah.
And then like, so it's funny, right? Because like he becomes a savage throughout the movie, right? But and like he almost has to protect himself in a way from like by getting his family out of like his whole life because he has changed so much. But like it's almost
he's also
like
trying to protect them.
Well, he is, but like what I'm saying is that like he can't like he's basically chosen like okay, like he's not sitting there being like I had no choice. I had to fucking do this. It's like it's just like you got to get the fuck out. Like you can't be near me. You can't have anything to do with me. Like I'm not a fucking good person. Like whatever.
Yeah. And right before he got out to begin with, he wrote his kid a letter.
Yeah.
Saying like basically the letter sounded like he was gonna kill himself.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm no good to you guys. Like he knew he was getting out. He knew what was being asked of him to do next when he does get out. So He's like, I gotta keep them away from me
Yeah.
as far as I can. I don't need them to know like what they look like, or because if I don't do this or my plan doesn't work, like they're gonna get killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so like that whole aspect of it, I thought was just so well done. You know what I mean? And it takes like a movie like this can only be good, really, if you've got pretty solid actors at the
Oh
right time
yeah,
in their career. You know what I mean?
oh
Like,
yeah.
'cause look, I mean, here's the deal. Like Tom Cruise isn't gonna go do Shot Caller right now. You know what I mean?
No,
You
but
need a guy who's like on the come up.
do you know who I did hear? So this movie was directed by Rick Roman Waugh. He actually made another prison movie called Felon in 2008. It says
Yeah,
it's a gritty prison drama. I
yeah,
haven't seen it, but I'll check it out because I like his prison movies. He's worked hand in hand with Gerard Butler, which I did read a thing that said if they were to make this movie today, like you would probably see Gerard Butler in that lead role, which would be super friggin' dope.
yeah.
He was in another
The
prison
problem is like
movie,
now Gerard Butler's
Collateral Damage, right? He's
yeah,
older.
yeah, yeah. His problem is Gerard Butler would have to play like Beast now. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but
Like,
they did Greenland together. I don't know if you've
yeah,
never
I've
seen
seen Greenland. I've
Greenland.
seen it.
Greenland's
Yes.
really good. All the like Angel Has Fallen, that whole series, it's the same director.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I for like I said before, I mean, I think it's funny because I think about like guys now who I think could pull this off.
Hmm.
And it's like, see, like Bernthal is such a weird person, right? Bernthal is like so good at being a piece of shit. Like,
Unbelievable.
have you ever watched John Bernthal's podcast, Real Ones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He is fucking dude. This dude is so tapped. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
he's nuts.
it's like, have you seen his things? We played it on the show, pulling the cork before, because Joey Boats used to say that, like, a buddy used to say, like, naps are for babies. And, like, Bernthal would be like, I got, in real life, he'd be like, take naps. He's like, naps are for losers. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, I don't have time to take a fucking nap. I got shit to do. Like, it's like, dude,
yeah,
sometimes people need a nap. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you don't
Get
need
off
a nap. Yeah,
get off my back. Let me take
Bernthal,
a
take it easy.
fucking nap. Let me take a nap, bro.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, I don't have all day to fucking act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was sledgehammering for fucking 9 hours today. Let me
Yeah,
take a nap,
take a
buddy.
nap. Yeah. Yeah, who knows, by the way? Bernthal probably gets up at fucking 11. You know what I mean? So he doesn't need
Do
a nap.
you know who I think would be tremendous in this role?
Who? In
The dude
Bernthal's
that
role or in
no, the lead would be what's his name? I can't think of his name. He played it in
oh
the new
yeah,
it.
yeah. And he played Nosferatu.
Yes,
Yeah, it's what's his name? The kid from his
Bill
brothers,
Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård. Yeah, he'd be able to do it.
I think he would be great in this movie.
Although, dude, I think me and you are gonna agree on this. I haven't even had the self like harm feelings to see the new version. I was the
Mm.
biggest fan of The Crow. The
I
Crow.
won't do it. I won't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do
I
it.
I keep refusing. I
'Cause,
see it. I pass it every night. I'm like, is tonight the night? I'm like, I'll find something.
dude, because the
I'll
original
find
Crow is
something.
so great. I love the
I
original
know.
Crow. But all right, use the original Crow as a movie, right?
Mhm.
It's a great B movie, right? It's like a
Phenomenal
pulp
B movie.
movie. It's not like highbrow. It just is what it is. It moves, it cooks, it gives you the action you want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like we talked about the other day, right? With like horror films, right?
Mhm.
How they just pull you in and like you don't have to think about anything else. It's like you're just in this thing right now. Shaw Call is like that, where it's like it just brings you into this moment where you're never gonna be. I can promise you this: if you watch Shaw Caller, you're never gonna be like, "This is boring." You know what I mean? You're never gonna be like, "I don't want to watch." You might finish it and be like, "Yeah, that was cool. I don't need to see it again." I would get that. Um, for me, it's just a super easy watch and it's super fun to watch. Like I'm never like at all like, oh,
The pacing is
money.
a
It's great.
high. It is a high point of this movie.
Yes.
I think just overall, this movie's fucking tremendous.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I
I
said, like you can't trust fucking Rotten Tomatoes or whatever because that's like trusting, dude. It's the same thing as to some level, I guess, because music and film is very different. But like you can't trust that like listen, if you don't like prison movies stress you out or whatever, yeah, maybe you won't like this movie. Um, for me, like I'll give you an example. We said we're gonna do Uncut Gems at some point, right? Uncut Gems is one of the most
I
stressful movies you can ever watch, right?
fucking
It's
love it.
Anxiety Attack City.
You
I
can't. You
never,
gotta watch that once every like 2 years because you like your heart's racing
oh,
the whole movie.
dude, it's like fucking Jesus. But this movie is just like, I feel like in a way, it's like one of those movies that like they just don't make anymore, really. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they
And
don't.
probably why they didn't promote it that much, and probably why it didn't do like tremendously great. Um,
But
I
for a
think
movie with a $9 million budget, it's like you're not getting movies like that anymore.
no, no, and there's I can't remember the name of the show, and it's like this is why like if we spent the time to do hours of preparation, I would think about this. But so that actor who plays Money, right,
Yeah,
Nikolai, whatever his name is, he's
yeah.
in this show that has 1 or 2 seasons. It's with I think Julia Roberts is in it, and he plays. Have you seen the show?
What's it called?
Anyways, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's on like Max or something like that, and it was really good. It's like basically about a guy who she marries like later in life, and he's like works at a startup with his like owns a startup. Then all of a sudden he disappears, and like he's got this whole like past that she doesn't know about. She's still trying to unravel it, right? But the thing about him is that guy's like a great looking guy, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fucking deny this is a very handsome man, right? By any movie standards, right? But
Yeah.
there's a million of those guys, dude. Do you know what I mean? He's a great actor. Like now I will say this. His accent slips a few times in this movie, right?
Mhm.
But I'll chalk that up to the fact that in this movie, they're probably shooting it as fast as possible because they're on such a budget, right? So they're not
Yeah.
sitting there being like, we got to get that one part where your fucking accent slipped a little bit. Like there's a couple moments where it happens. Doesn't bother me. But it's there for sure. Yeah, I think it's just fucking, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, like I said, a day of movies where like you don't go see like you don't you don't get told a lot about like you're like, oh, you got to see this movie, and like it's just like really good and it's gritty and it's fucking not gonna like you could watch it. I could pick that movie up at like any point in the movie. I'd watch probably most of it. You know what I mean?
It's so
Um,
good.
yeah. So I mean, so all right, let's go back to one of our favorites though. What are you eating during this movie? Like, what do you? I think
I just
so. Here's
I'm
what I.
eating it right now.
All right. So here's what I gotta say about this. Now I want to
Yep.
quantify this, right? Because we've been talking about
Okay.
this.
Hmm.
When we talk about a movie that we saw in the theaters, like say Sinners, that's different, right? Because I think we got to stick to fucking movie food, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I think when we're talking about when you're eating at home, like you can eat whatever you want. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
So what are you eating right now? Skittles popped? Oh, like the air popped freeze dried Skittles?
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would go regular Skittles, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I bought them specifically because I knew this episode was coming out, and I'm like, this is a good Skittles movie for me because I it gives you that sugar rush. That's what this movie does.
Oh, look at this kid. Look at this kid
That's
hanging
what
his
this
dick
movie
out.
does.
I
It
love
gives
it.
you that sugar rush, baby.
I love it. You know what I would go with? And I'll tell you why I picked this. I'm running a golf tournament this Friday, and I was packing the little bags that you give out to people on the first, like when they leave. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm getting some fucking, people put chips in there and water and shit. I'm like, I'm getting some fucking sweets in there. I want some sweets in there. I'm going, this is Twizzler City for me, this movie.
Okay.
I'm going Twizzlers all day.
I love Twizzlers. The
Twizzlers, like
problem
red
with me
vines.
when I go snacks, dude, if I go in, I'm buying like four different.
I know.
I want like a Kit Kat, some Twizzlers. I'm not eating all of it, but I'm gonna have like a couple of each, and then hey, I'll pass it down. Hey, buddy, you want some?
I had a great story. I
You
think
know,
I don't know if I ever told this on the other podcast, but me and you both, you were a lot fatter than I was at one point. You were like 300 pounds or something.
I think 310 was my biggest.
That's insane,
320.
dude.
I
If you
was a
see
big
Justin
boy.
now, like it's like seems impossible. I was also like now I think I'm like 194, and I was
Mhm.
like at one point I was 240, which to me just doesn't. I don't carry it well. But I used to go, dude. Me and Maggie lived in lived in Milton, and I used to shop in Dorchester and Lower Mills, mostly black supermarket. By the way, I'll tell you this much: this is true. Remember they had that whole thing about how Stop and Shop was giving worse produce to like the black supermarkets? Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like
Is it true?
it's definitely true. But I used to go in there. They used to have now back in the day, they used to have like the I don't know if it's Stop and Shop or Star Market, but they would have the fill your own bags like gummy candy things. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would
Oh,
go
so
right
good.
when I walked in, I would go to that thing and I would fill up a bag and I would just eat it while I shopped, like just like a fat
Hun-
fuck.
100%.
And I was like, I remember I had like, dude, I like had to finish it because Maggie called me. She's like, "You're late to come home," so I had like a fucking full mouth of fucking like gummy candy. And this black dude was walking down the aisle, and I remember he's like, "Oh boy," he's like, "You going all the way in, son?" And I'm like, "Bro, you like fucking fat as fuck," you know what I mean?
Oh,
Uh,
damn, you're going all the way in.
I was like, "Damn right." But I go Twizzlers for this movie. You can't go wrong. I would say this is more for me, like you said, a straight sugar gummy
Give me
candy.
a
Give me the
sugar
sugar.
rush.
Give me the sugar rush. You know what I mean? Skittles, whatever. Um,
There's just the pasting is literally masterful.
it's
They could
great.
teach a master class on the pacing of this movie.
I agree, and I'll tell you what. Does anything that's now all right? So let's talk about some plot holes in the film, right?
Hmm.
Let's start with the end because this movie does not go linear, right?
Yeah.
So they're out in this like these two cages. It's actually really sick how they shot it, like the way it looks. It looks like a
Oh,
Supermax prison,
looks great.
and they're him and the Beast guy having a conversation, basically saying, "I'm going to kill your whole family," and that's when he breaks out and then kills the guy. And he tells the guard like, "You're not going to say shit. Like I own you now. Like you're my guy now," because that was
Mhm.
what Beast had owed the guy originally. It's like, dude, they got cameras out here, dude. This is 2017. I mean, there's not like a fucking world in which it's a Supermax and they don't have fucking video cameras in there.
Not only that, it's like these guys are like the worst of the worst. Like in this specific spot because he murdered somebody else in jail. And there's a scene in this movie when he first gets there. He murders the dude in jail and he gets put in that like section of the prison that's like the worst of the
Yeah.
worst. People like on death row and like serial killers and like the head of the Aryan Brotherhood. Like obviously it's the worst of the worst. And their yard time is let's say like 10 body size cages and they in just in this open field, right?
Yep.
So they're in like this yard. They don't let them roam around. They're like confined to these specific cages outside as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
No, so like just and the fact that it would be one guard bringing him out, like there's no fucking shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. That being said, the way it's shot, I would take the plot holes for like the drama. Do you know what I mean? Of like the way it's shot and everything. Like, because they could have done it. The only other way they're doing it is like they're both in, like, because these guys don't get out. The only time they get out is to go into that cage for like a half hour, basically, to exercise,
Yeah.
right? Because they're in the
Hmm.
whole Supermax, right?
Yep.
Like we've all seen. I don't know if I'm sure you've watched those prison shows on A&E where like those guys like run the Aryan Nation from these Supermax prisons, and they're just throwing kites like down out the thing. Like that's how they get their messages out. I'll say this: there's never been ingenuity like there is in prisons. Like people in prison, it just shows that now. Not saying that like people in prison in general are great people, although there's plenty of good people that have gone to prison, obviously, and there's plenty of people I know that have been in prison that I think are great people. Um, but like nothing will make a person creative like being locked in an area and not having options.
Think of like think of you as like a kid or like a young teen and like you trying to pull the wool over your parents' eyes, trying to sneak out of the house or just get one over on your parents,
Yeah,
right? Now times that by like 300. That's
yeah,
what it's like
that's
in
what it
prison.
is. Yeah, yeah, and you know what's funny? I think to myself, I'm like, now if I went to jail, am I too old that people wouldn't want to rape me anymore? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They'd be like, this guy's not even good looking. Like, I don't want to rape this old dude. You know what I mean?
You got to be real careful of what you go to prison for too, because
Oh, I mean, if you're going for like fucking skinning or being like a fucking being like a pedophile or whatever, you definitely are getting
You're
fucking
fucked.
you're getting killed. Like killed. You know what I mean?
You're fucked.
But then like my brother-in-law is a CO and he's like, dude, they put those people in fucking their own prisons basically now. Like they have they get more protection than anybody, basically. You know what I
Well, they
mean?
probably put them together.
They basically do. Yeah, they probably just all fuck, you know what I mean? And like I don't know what they do like to get off because I mean, obviously they don't get off on
You just gotta say that you're like you're of the opposite sex now.
so
Like I identify as a woman. They'll put you
yeah.
in the women's prison.
But you're only in for like a week. You know what I mean? You
Ah.
come out, you're all up in makeup. Uh, I saw one of those like locked up abroads. You know what I mean? Those are a
Yeah.
great show by the way when it was on.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's like could happen to anybody. It's like, oh, I had weed on me and I was in fucking, San Domingo, and all of a sudden I'm
Argentina.
in the
Yeah.
fucking hottest prison ever. And there was a guy, and like he was a white dude from the States, and like he was in there, and it was like they showed the prison, like it was like just a fucking building that all these guys were just living freely in, basically, but like they couldn't get out of it. So it's like it's even crazier than any U.S. prison. Like they're not, they're like making their own rules. There's guys on the outside with guns, basically. And the guy
Yeah.
was like, they had a fucking guitar in there, and he's like, I could play guitar and sing. And like basically the fucking biggest gang leader was like, you're gonna be like my fucking entertainer. And he's like, so for like 5 years, I was just his fucking entertainer. I would just whatever he wanted me to learn, I'd learn it. I'd fucking play it. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, that would be my only hope. You know what I mean? The
That's
joint.
it. You're not gonna be playing much folk music in there.
No, no. I'm gonna have to learn how to play like metal and like fucking some other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be
Exactly.
playing the most fucking white supremacist songs of all time. I'd do anything to not get raped. You know what I mean? I'd be like, dude, I'll play fucking any white fucking any Peckerwood song you want. You know what I mean? Like
You're
I'm all
playing like German fucking.
yeah, tatted to the fucking bones with just fucking
Oh my
swastikas. You know what
God.
I mean? But dude,
Which
I think people would do like it's easy to say. I always think about this in life, right? Because it's like it's a bigger question, but it's very easy to be like, oh, I would stand up for that cause that time, right? It's like, would you? Because, dude, if you're surrounded by a bunch of people who might beat the fuck out of you and kill you, like you might keep quiet. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
you're gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, because people in general are fucking sheep. And we're self-preservation is first before we got anything else. That's
Yeah.
basically what this movie is. It's like self-preservation.
Oh,
It's
a
like
100%.
I don't want to die. So like I'm gonna do whatever. I'm willing to kill somebody else to not die, essentially.
And this guy, like, it doesn't. I feel like he wouldn't even like. I think that's a plot hole too. Maybe, maybe not, because of the state they were in. But like, he had no priors.
So okay, so here's the only thing I love that you brought this up, right?
Yep.
If I'm rewriting this movie, or if maybe there was something that was cut, right?
hmm I'm putting him
I
in
thought about
prison
this.
a different way.
I thought about this. I don't know if that's what I would do, but I would be like, maybe I would do something where like he runs into somebody recognizes him in there, right? From like high school or something.
Yeah.
And is like, dude, that dude was like, he beat the fucking bricks off some kid. Like fucking, I saw him do it. He wouldn't stop. They had to pull him off him. Like something to fucking show that he has this in him somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
something like,
I felt like they tried to when he first got checked by the black dude,
yeah, but like,
which is like why they were like he is hot. See, I would have.
so basically,
And
but the way they lead to that is they basically like have him listen to the guy just getting raped. And he's like, I'm not fucking getting raped.
here's what I would have did,
Yeah.
and it solves your problem,
Okay.
and it changes like. I don't like the DUI aspect. Like, yeah, okay, you guys were out drinking, you ran a red light, you hit somebody, and your passenger died. I would have like take the same scenario, have them all go out to dinner. Some guy comes up to you, he gets handsy with your wife, something along those lines that
You hit,
causes you to
it's not bad.
you hit him.
He knocks
The
him
guy
out. He
drops
hits
and
his head,
dies.
dies. Yeah.
Or something along those lines where it's like maybe not as cliche as that, but like you could make it a little bit more violent, and then that's why he's in there.
So I agree with you. I actually think that is overall better for the story.
Yeah.
I think the point It's tough, right? Because now I've seen this movie 3 times. So like I agree with you.
Yeah.
But the point that it's just like you look at what happened and you're like, that could easily happen to me. Like because every
Yeah.
white guy watching that movie has been like, I've gone out to dinner with my wife and had a bottle of wine and definitely was over the limit, but like I felt fine to drive.
Yeah.
Like so if something just bad happened, dude, like I mean,
It
listen,
was an accident though.
yeah,
No matter any way you slice it, it was an
I know what you're saying.
accidental
So
death.
if he, yeah, dude, that I know, like I'm sure you've heard of it, but like I remember that happened to some kid. Like he hit a kid in Faneuil Hall. Kid's head bounced off a curb, done, dead.
Yeah.
Like kids they had to do like 20 years. Like whereas most people that happens and nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like you go
Yeah.
home
You just
and
get into a
whatever,
fight.
no big deal. You know what I mean? Um, Anyways, I agree with that. That's a plot hole because there's not like a really good background of him being kind of like showing that little like it's almost like right like so you get other movies, right? I'm trying to think of an example of this, but like kind of a cliche, but when it's like oh like it's like this kind of is fuck what's the name of it with Viggo Mortensen?
Hildago.
No, it's definitely not Hildago. It's oh
That's
is it?
our movie next week.
It's not Violent Nature's the new one, but it's kind of something like that.
Not in Violent Nature. I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm
It's
talking
like
about?
the apocalypse movie, kind of.
No. This is the one where you're thinking of something road.
Not Victory
This
Road.
is the one where he's living out in the middle of nowhere and he's a fucking basically he's living in like a rural town and he's works at like a diner with his wife lives, they live in this rural town like Ohio or something. And some guy comes in and tries to stick it up and he fucking takes a coffee pot off the guy's face, basically. I think I'm getting
Yep.
this right. And then like A History of Violence is the name of the movie.
History
And
of Violence.
and then
Yeah, I've
all
seen
of a
it.
sudden these like mob guys show up. And now it's like you get the backstory like this guy was in witness protection or something, or he's been on the run forever. And like he was a fucking horrible fucking dude, but he tried to fucking just make his life as good as it could be. Like
Yeah.
that is kind of like a little bit of what this maybe needed. But like, I don't know. Like it the way they did it, I think, is very effective for what it is. But like I agree with you. If you hyper analyze this movie, I would be like, yeah, they should have done something like that, where maybe he jacks some dude up at dinner and like because the guy touches his wife and accidentally kills him. Like that would have been more like you're like, all right, this guy is willing to throw down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be as fucking shocked, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Because you're like, they don't give you the information right away. Because this movie is, like I said, is not linear. So you don't really see it till about 35, maybe 40 minutes into
yeah,
this movie. You don't like really see the full. I mean, you see him first come out of prison is one of the first
yeah,
shots of the movie. So you don't. Then it's like maybe 15 minutes into the movie, you see him clean cut, and
yeah.
I'm sitting there,
Yeah, so
and
they played like
Sabrina,
basketball game in the gym or whatever, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Sabrina saw this movie, so I'm just like,
Was
I'm
that your
just
first time
talking out
seeing it?
loud. Yeah,
Oh, awesome. That's great.
it was great,
Yeah.
but I'm sitting there like, I call stuff out. You
Yeah.
would probably hate watching in the movie theater. I'm not like this, but like, I'm just on my couch with her. It's like
Yeah. You talk
she
shit.
tortures me, so now I just torture her back
Yeah.
because she's the worst guesser. Like the worst. And it's so funny, just like a quick little sidebar. We're watching this movie, and I don't know for the life of me, I can't think of the name. Um, it's with the girl that's in the Matrix, and it's like a dystopian movie where this kid wakes up. He was like in a car accident, and it's the end of the world. Like he has no clue what's going on,
Yeah.
and she's like guessing, guessing. I go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like 11 seconds into this movie. What would make you think any of that? It's so dumb. And then come to find out at the end of the movie that she was right. And I'm like, I literally hate you and I hate this movie because you were right and it's so dumb.
See, that used to be the worst thing about watching like mini series or whatever, like limited series with Maggie, is that she was always right. And by the third episode, she'd be like, it's him or whatever. And I'm like, why? I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to
Just
like,
let me figure it out.
let me sort it out on my own time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish there was more like, You know what's funny? I find that like so I'm watching Mobland right now. And I like it a lot. But I've been watching it episode by episode kind of like I was a little late to it. So I would watch two episodes, right? So I didn't binge it like all day. Um I really like dude, I really dude, that's Santino being like I'm the shot caller in this fucking show
He
right now.
hey, he is the shot
He
caller.
is the shot caller. All kids the shot callers, dude.
He is the.
Uh
I'm gonna get him a shock collar.
no, but like I miss like a little bit. Like I feel like a lot of time was spent for me, especially when your kid's little. You're going through that now, right? Where it was like
Yeah,
that was like mainly like what me and Maggie were doing. It was like when those Netflix shows were getting good. So it's like every like couple months there'd be a new one come out. So it'd be like, let's binge this show, right? So we were watching less movies, I feel like, right? And like
yeah.
that period went on for a while. And then my son became getting into movies, so like I got back into movies more. And now I like watch something like this, and I'm like, see, this is just a great movie. Like
It's phenomenal.
it's not fucking Goodfellas, right? It's not. Is it Killers of the Flower Moon? It's not fucking it's not There Will Be Blood, right? But it's like
No,
this is just a great fucking like if it was like if we were kids, like this is on TV 56 or whatever, like this is a movie you'd be like, oh, I could fucking watch this and then watch another fucking movie back to back with it. And like, it's just, I don't know. For me, like, I just think it's like really fun, really fucking easy to watch. Uh, Thought provoking, but not like, doesn't really bum you out. Just like, you get the whole picture and like, you're also like, this could happen to you. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if the
absolutely.
fucking dude, you get the wrong fucking traffic light, this could happen to you.
I think that it's a great. Listen, I think the purpose of this podcast, and I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I think we're pretty much on the same wavelength. It's movies that like you should know about.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
It's like everybody
Eh,
knows about fucking
Avengers.
the Fast and the
Oh
Furious.
fuck it. Yeah, it's like yeah, I get it. And I'm not saying we won't watch one of those movies. That's
No,
not
no,
what I'm
no,
trying to
no,
say.
no.
But if everyone's like, oh, you pick obscure movies, it's like everybody always texts me for fucking movie recommendations constantly.
Totally.
I always get it. Oh, what do you got? Give me some whatever. You've done it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I do
not.
it all
You're
the
not
time.
the. You're not the only one. And
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'm gonna give you a list of fucking 10 movies because I love movies. So it's like that's pretty much what we're doing in long form podcasting. It's like you need to watch this movie. So
Yeah, and
it's
that's
like if
why
we're
like I
get
think it was good that you announced like you're like this is the next movie we're doing. So
yeah,
that if you are one of the 10 people that's listening to this, which
we
we
got
appreciate
50
you.
on the first step.
Yeah, I mean 50 or 10 would listen to it. But I think that like it's funny because I think that so yeah, 50 people watched it on YouTube, right? And I
Yeah,
think 12 people downloaded the Spotify or whatever. But a lot of people like to watch more than they like to fucking listen. Like
I do.
I like to watch. I prefer to watch podcasts like than I do to listen to them because, like for example, if I'm out here, say it's like a night like tonight, but we're not doing this, and a podcast that I like is on, I'll kind of dick around on my guitar. I'll have my computer up, right? I'll be kind of multitasking while I listen to it.
Hmm.
Whereas, like, if you're listening on Spotify or whatever, you really can only do that if you're kind of in your car or you're walking or something. You know what I mean? Because, like,
Yeah,
you're not going to just sit on the couch and listen, generally speaking.
no,
You know what I mean?
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we're a YouTube podcast. Just want everybody to know that. Also, we're gonna fix the banner thing. Justin figured it out last week, but was like the day we were releasing, so I didn't want to like try to fuck it
Did
up.
you end up getting the email?
Did you send me the file?
Yeah, but I don't
Oh,
know if it went through. I don't. It
I don't
was
think I
so
got it.
big. It took me an hour to just bounce it down
So I'll give
after I
you.
implemented it.
Yeah,
After
I
I
was gonna say
implemented it.
I'll give you. Well, whatever. We'll figure that out later. But I can give you access to
Yeah,
Dropbox, so you can drop it off there.
yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna sort out the black lines that are kind of above. We're above this in the second episode. We know Al had a big problem with it, so obviously we don't offend
He
him.
did. Do you know there is actually a way to transition
I know
between?
that size and like cinema size or whatever
Yes,
on
but it
YouTube.
will. It'll also do. No, on. I'm talking about on Zoom. So it'll like that I'm talking right now, it'll just go on me.
Well, that was
It'll
really
go
good
to
the
the
first week.
but it'll do the bar like we're doing right now. It'll go to me and it'll go to you. So it transitions between all three.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know
Yeah,
how to I
I'll
don't know, that's just
I'll figure that out. We got time. Um, yeah, I mean, just going back to this movie though, once again, I really think if you haven't watched it, even if you just listen to this, because I'll be honest with you, I listen to a movie podcast sometimes that I listen to it and then I don't watch the movie sometimes. Sometimes I do. Just
we're telling you about the entire movie right now.
yeah,
So
but you should still watch it. It's fucking awesome. Like I'm surprised more people don't know about it only because so many people were into Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean?
so many.
And like
It,
like Game of Thrones was crazy.
now I had one little not I don't want to say plot hole because I don't know if that's gonna the correct term for what I'm gonna say, but
Yeah.
I think what really kind of irked me is he gets out and he meets up with his wife in a restaurant,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He gives her like envelope that has like bank stuff in it, and
Yeah.
he's like, "There's like 171,000. Take this, live your own life." It's like if you're gonna do that and you know what you're up against, it's like just take the money with your family and either run away or link up with the cops to begin with.
Okay. So here's what I think alternate ending, right?
Yeah.
Is like he takes that while he's in there being fucking money. He's reading the papers. He knows what's going on with the stock market, right? How good of a stockbroker was this guy? Because
I
like,
know.
why don't you like now that you know you can just trade online? It's like, dude, you just fucking head to Mexico, and
What are we
like,
doing here?
yeah, and the fucking trade online. Now it's a boring ending, but like,
The Aryan
but then they track him
Brotherhood
down.
is not going to Mexico.
No, no,
You
no,
know,
no. Aryan brother, like, I mean, listen, I got respect for all the brotherhoods. You know what I mean? The Mexicans, the Aryans. You know, I'm not gonna try to get myself in some trouble here.
yeah,
But like, it's just funny because you think about it, it's like, all right, now we know all these guys are bad motherfuckers, right? Obviously.
yeah,
Um, that said, like, is there anybody more bad than the cartels? Like, these are the worst demons that have ever lived. Like,
yeah. They're going to give you a Colombian necktie.
yeah, they're just cutting people's heads off and like just sticking them in walls. Like, they got
Yeah, they'll
like,
murder your whole family and then your neighbors
yeah,
of the
yeah,
family too.
yeah. I mean, they're the fucking, they're the, uh, but I agree with you. There could be a great alternate ending to that because it's like, so what did he just had that money sitting there and he never told her about it? Why didn't she have access to it in the first place? She would have.
Well, I think that he was earning, obviously, on the
Oh, you're saying
inside.
okay. That was where that's from. All right,
I
okay,
think that's where the money came from.
all right, yeah.
Um, but it's like you met up with the cop dude that was your parole officer. It's like you're out. You'd be like, hey, listen, I'm trying to live a clean life. They're threatening my family. I only joined up with them to be able to fucking survive. I
Yeah,
was only supposed to do 8 months. You could, I mean, it's gonna just end the whole movie, but you know what I'm saying. That to me, I feel like that storyline could have just been a little tighter with something else. You didn't even need that.
yeah. I think yeah. It's you know what I wish we had right now, and I wish, and I
What?
think for next week we're gonna figure this out because we got a long weekend coming up, so I feel like I get some more time in my hands than I have. It's been
Mhm.
fucking busy as shit. Um, I was actually so fucking busy at work and then doing shit for this golf tournament. I almost texted you. I had a text half written like, "Hey, can we push it tomorrow night?" And I'm like, "You know what? I want to talk about this movie right now. I want to fucking get a
Right?
little detached from fucking. This is what a movie is. A movie takes
What
you
it
fucking
is.
out of your life. You know what I mean? It gets you feeling good. Um,
I'm here to
I
help.
want to get the way that we can play some clips on the show, like little clips for the movie.
There's definitely a way to do it. You would have to
I know
probably
I
do,
can do it.
yeah,
Uh,
you would have to do it, so we would have to plan a little bit, I guess.
yeah, but like
Or
what I'm saying
at
is
least
like you could
know.
tell me. Let's say you pick the movie for next week, right?
Yep.
Which is how we're doing it for right now. Here's what I'm thinking. This is now episode 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna do every other, pretty much, right? We
Mhm.
are gonna have some guests soon. Fitzy's coming on. Fitzy wants to come on. You know, there's a
He's
big
coming on next week for my movie choice, he said.
Yeah, what was it? What did you want to do?
Are we gonna reveal it now? Or we're gonna wait to the end.
We'll wait to the end. That's fine. Go ahead, but I just want to know what it is. I'll look it up. Go ahead. Um, yeah,
You want me to?
dude, going back to this movie for a second. In all prison genre movies, right? In
Yep.
general, I like prison movies. Like, I just really
They're
like them.
great.
It's like, first of
It
all, it
shows you a
confines
life that we have no attachment to whatsoever.
confines the space, right? So like,
Yep.
it makes it easy to shoot a movie because for most of the movie you're inside. So it's like the budget's easier to fucking contain. You know what I mean? You're not trying to blow up buildings and shit. Like, you're just like inside. You're like some of the best movies, prison movies, like Shawshank's
You
prison movie.
you don't need any CGI bullshit.
Absolutely.
You know, it's all character acting.
All right, so I'm
You
looking
need
this
good.
up.
You need good actors for fucking. What are you looking up? How to do it?
What? How to go to prison?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I thought you meant how
Do you
to.
know the name of the movie that he picked?
That we picked.
Yeah, that him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
menu.
that's what we're gonna do, right? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So that's what we're gonna do next
the
week.
menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out a night that works for Fitzy because he likes to go to bed early. That's the only thing with Fitzy.
Are we gonna all get in a room together? Would that
Maybe
be easier
that could be definitely possible because we're
than a
not
three-way
doing.
stream?
Yeah, but like in general, with the thing we're gonna have to work out with Fitzy is timing is hard for him because he has sports and he goes to bed early. Like so, like he gets home from sports at 8 and he's in bed by like 8:20.
Maybe we should do it as the first movie watch along.
Let's just get him on first. We'll do a
Okay.
watch along later. I think we just get Fitzy on, talk menu.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out that way. But let me talk to him and figure out what his schedule is because maybe the only time I'm thinking that might be best for him is and even okay. So even if we are gonna do menu with Fitzy, but if it for whatever reason timing doesn't work out, we'll do something different and we'll announce it on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
follow our
fine.
Instagram. But here's what I was gonna say. So in general, we're gonna do every other for me and you, right? But then I think what we could do is on the fifth episode, every fifth episode, right? So we're coming up. This is 3. Um, we'll do one like called like streaming now, right? And that'll be
Mhm.
you pick one movie that's just a direct to streaming, and I'll pick a direct to streaming, right? So, and we both have all the same services, right? So I have
Yep.
Shutter, I have Disney Plus, I have Apple, I think I have everything you have, right?
Yeah, and if it's, I'll fucking buy it. I'll rent it. I don't care. I'll get the movie. It's
Yeah,
not a big
but
deal.
like I like the idea of the direct to streaming movies that you can that aren't that are like by the service, right? This is what I'm saying. So like for example, the one that
Napoleon.
no, like I'm saying like the one that came out recently with Miles Teller and the girl, it was on Apple Plus and they're like
Yeah.
they're shooting the guns in the fucking valley thing
Yeah,
with
it's
the
the Apple
aliens.
TV movie.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, like by the service. So a Netflix movie, you know what I mean? Like maybe, yeah, if it had a cinematic release, I guess that's fine as long as it's by them, right? Because I guess Apple currently actually owns Kills of the Flower Moon. But I'm looking for more like the movies like like that one, like a one that's like Bird Box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would be like an example of that. You know what I'm saying? So we
Oh,
both
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World
Great
Behind.
movie.
Great movie.
What
Fucking
a
love that movie.
what a great
See,
movie.
those are the movies that the streaming services do the best. The
Oh
B,
yeah,
the B like post-apocalyptic alien type movies is what
they
they do.
crushed him.
They crush them. Hour and 40 minutes, fucking mainline into my veins. Give me the fucking blown out Skittles, and like let's fucking go. You know what I mean?
All day. I want the prolapse Skittles all in my mouth.
Prolapse Skittles, the prison Skittles, the prison Skittles.
I want prison Skittles all day.
Dude, I'll tell you what though. Dude, I'll tell you right now. You know who don't quit?
Is
Santino.
Santino?
He doesn't
He
quit.
is. It's 10:30, dude.
Listen, he must stay up late though, because you stay up late.
9:30. He goes. They go to bed.
Oh, really?
I'm up. I'll watch a movie on the couch, wait for them to pass out, go in the room, watch another movie.
So you go to bed around like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Usually. And then
Mhm.
but you get up pretty early, right?
9:30.
Okay. So yeah, you're getting 7 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I was telling Al this today. This is my biggest problem in the world, and this is now you're getting inside just whatever life shit. But I this happens to me occasionally. Like if I go to bed a little bit like 10:30 is good for me. 11, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall asleep at like 9:45, right, which I did last night, and I was too lazy to get up and take a leak. I woke up at 3, and if I wake up at 3, I already have in my head I can't go back to bed.
No, you're up now.
So I got up at 3, watched my phone for like an hour and a half, went to the gym, was home at like 6, went to my office, did like a couple of meetings I had to do, put my feet up. I slept for 25 minutes. Had to go meet some guy in the South Shore to get stuff for this golf tournament, booze. Came back, slept for 45 minutes. So like I'm
You
on
got
like
two
4.
naps. John
I'm on, like,
Bernthal would be pissed at you.
yeah, John Berthel, he bullshit.
Two,
He does not
two
accept
naps.
napping. Does not accept napping. You know what I mean? But dude, if I wake up at 3, I'm always like, that's I've slept too much. I slept 5
You're
hours.
toast. You're
I'm
toast.
fucked. You know what I mean? And it's like I
Yeah.
can't get back to sleep. So that just happens to me. I'm fucked. Like that's always been the way my fucking. I start thinking about work and shit and fucking things I gotta do. And I'm
Life.
fucked. You know, life. Yeah, exactly. Like they always say like it's better off just throwing a movie on. Like and just saying fuck it because it's like, all right, like you throw the movie on and then like you might fall asleep. You know what I mean? Because you're like kind of like fucking meditatively kind of like
Well, it shut your
chilling
brain
out.
off.
It does shut your brain off. That's what's great about movies. You know what I mean?
Well, you gotta watch like a movie you've seen a million times. Put on Tommy Boy.
You know what's a great one for that? Like a movie like that's like relaxed, like isn't too much, is like paced quietly but perfectly, is like a Michael Clayton or like a
Yeah.
Moneyball. Like a Moneyball is like good like that.
Moneyball's a good one.
It's
I
like
always do
meditative.
like old school comedies.
Yeah.
I'll put on like a Liar, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, any of those that are just gonna. I've seen this. I can just shut my eyes while it's playing,
Yeah.
and I can see every scene.
I know. Because you see it so many fucking times.
Yeah.
All right. So if we let's do this. If we don't do menu, because if we can't get Fitzy, let's just assume that. Let's
Yep.
go with our pick of what's going to be next. Other than that, because your pick. Other than that,
Borderline,
Borderline.
Borderline.
Who's in Borderline?
Borderline is with Jack Nicholson's son,
Okay.
Ray
Oh, this is the
Nicholson,
one. I'm glad I didn't watch it yet. This is the one you were told me about.
and Samara Weaving. It's a quote unquote horror. It's kind of a horror. It's about this girl that was like a pop star, and Jack Nicholson's son is a stalker, and he basically stalks her, and like he repeatedly stalks her. He gets locked up. He escapes.
All right. Don't
and
tell
they-
me more. Don't tell me more.
Okay,
I want
I
to know.
won't.
I want to know from there. I'm getting fear vibes already.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just from what you're saying, but I'm sure it's very different.
It's very different, but that's where I'm at. It's on my futures list regardless.
And
So if we watch
where did you tell
menu,
me it was streaming?
I watched it on Amazon Prime. I rented it. It was like $6.
Yeah, that's fine.
It might be, but that was like a month and a half ago, 2
Dude,
months
the
ago.
amount of times I get a notification on my phone from Amazon Prime for my kids, like
Oh, it's probably disgusting.
it's daily. I mean, it's daily that I
They
get
probably
like
have just no clue.
I told Maggie today, I'm like, listen, fucking, we gotta stop fucking like eating like fucking out all the time and all this shit. Like, it's like Jesus, the world's getting expensive. I got my electric.
Do you
bill the other
cook?
day.
Do you cook at all?
We actually just fucking we resigned ourselves to cook all week this week.
It's
I like
good.
cooking a lot.
I love
The
it.
problem is, dude, you have 3 kids. Like, they all need something different. They all want something different. But we did good this week.
Yeah.
We had steak tips last night. We had salmon tonight with a little rice.
It's good.
Yeah. So we're on it. So I feel like I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
But
I made
I'd rather spend my money
tacos
on.
tonight.
Oh, nice. What'd you make?
I made
Regular
some
beef?
just beef tacos.
Nice.
And then last night I made turkey tenderloin
Dude,
wrapped
I love turkey tenderloin.
wrapped in bacon.
Love it. Love it.
So good.
Love turkey tenderloin.
So
I love fucking turkey tenderloin. We used to get it all the time. Then for some reason Maggie doesn't really like it because she's a bad palate, but I love it. It's like if you cook that thing perfectly, it's fucking awesome. So good.
Oh, it's so good. I could make Sabrina Tyson chicken wings or chicken fingers
Yeah,
every night.
her and Maggie
and
would
she
get
would-
along great.
she'd be like a fucking
Pig and shit. Yeah, Maggie used to
it's like
Maggie has like a fifth grader's palate. Like she wants
so,
pizza and like fucking chicken fingers and like mashed potatoes, basically. You know what I mean?
if Sabrina won't eat fucking pork chops. It's like you eat bacon,
Yeah.
you eat sausage.
Yeah, you don't want pork chops.
Oh,
With vinegar
fuck you.
peppers, you know what I mean? With vinegar
Oh,
peppers.
it's like let me make a fucking breaded pork
By the way,
chop.
how's your guts feeling?
Much better.
Yeah,
I'm actually it's just portions now, really.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of fucking getting me. I haven't tried booze yet. I'm still a little
Yeah, you
worried
probably
about
want
it.
to probably give it another fucking month, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they said really 6 months before I'm
Are you
like
out of pain basically?
normal. Yeah, yeah. I haven't really been in pain for the maybe the first 2 weeks I was in
Yeah.
pain. I
No, but I'm
can
saying like the GERD stuff. Like you don't feel like you
no, I mean like let's say I took two different GERD
Oh
medicines
wait,
every single
I feel like we're
day.
gonna give background. You just had surgery. We didn't talk about this. You just had surgery for
No.
GERD, for
Yeah.
having GERD. Yeah.
And I'll get chastised by Al for talking about it, even though you just asked me about it.
I did ask you about it, so
Yeah.
that's my thing.
Uh, so I was on two different meds, and now I'm doing like one med maybe once every 4 days.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes I get a little, but it,
Yeah.
it puts it back.
So basically, they
What
must
you,
have said to you that it takes a little bit while for your shit to heal up, right? And like
yeah,
be able to handle
yeah,
more, whatever.
about 6 months because they shrunk my stomach about 40%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you must
I'm
have
down
lost
like
weight
20
already.
pounds. I'm
I was
down
gonna
20
say,
pounds.
yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next time you see me, you'll be like, what the fuck?
You look like Auschwitz, like fucking Auschwitz Justin.
Yeah, I look
Uh,
like I have cancer.
we'll be doing, yeah, we'll be doing the Schindler's List episode. We've been dying to do. You know what I mean? The big
Yeah,
pick me
we're
up
gonna do
episode.
the machinist
Yeah.
next.
Yeah. Well, that's good
Let's
though.
rate. Let's throw a
All right, we gotta
rating
rate
on
it.
this movie. We gotta rate.
All right, I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll go first.
I
And
have my number written down, so
okay.
it could be the same.
I'm gonna rate it high. I'm gonna
Okay.
rate it high. I don't give a fuck who likes it, who doesn't like it. I'll just say this about my rating system. All right. It might not be the way you like to rate movies, right?
Hmm.
I rate movies on how much I enjoy them. Okay. So
Yeah,
what I'm saying by
absolutely.
that is that like I'm not gonna give like I might give a few extra points to something I think is like totally original and wildly different, right?
Yep.
So like I'm gonna give obviously I am gonna give some like Pulp Fiction a little bit more fucking than this, right? But I'm gonna give you like what I really think like this is worth. This goes into my fucking low A category, because I like it watching it that much. And I would watch it right now again. Like I watched it 2 nights ago, I'd watch it again right now. If it came on, I would have no problem watching it again. I give it a 91.
I told you I had it written down.
Yeah.
You can't. Oh, okay.
91. See? This is like when girls live together and start getting their periods at the same time.
Yeah, we're synced up.
I was synced up. 91. Dude, I think it's a dead 91.
It's on the nose for me. I think rating systems very similar.
Yeah.
I'm going to go originality. I like cinematography. I like the score. I
Yep.
like the storyline. And how much entertainment am I getting out of this movie?
Dude, that's everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like everything that matters
Yeah.
is like that you want to watch it. Maybe you're going to talk about it with somebody. I'll give you an example. Last night, and then we could probably wrap this thing up soon because we've been going for a while. But so my son's like, I want to watch Andor. It's the Star Wars thing,
The
right?
new Star Wars, yeah.
Now I was like, I think I tried to watch this a couple of years ago because it's 2 seasons now. When the
Yeah.
first season came out, same thing that happened to me in the first time happened to me this time. I couldn't keep fucking my eyes on the screen. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
fucking boring. I
That's
don't
how I
even know
was
what's
with
going on.
Kenobi. Kenobi was the same for me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like by the end of the episode, I literally didn't know what was happening. Like I was daydreaming, like during it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I like, I'm not saying that if you like Andor, you're not like fucking, I'm not
I
passing
love
judgment.
Star Wars. So
did too, but I'm saying that like somebody made a good point. I heard them talking about it's like there's nobody in this show yet that you fucking have ever seen. It's like it's just some guy wandering around looking for a sister and shit. And it's like, all
yeah,
right,
it's
this
like
could
you
be
just
any show. And then
yeah.
here's my other nitpick with fucking Star Wars. So they're in that fucking bar at the beginning of Andor, and this guy's fucking talking Scottish. It's like, all right, in Game of Thrones, at least they're all English. Like,
Yeah,
where are
what are
these
we
fucking
doing?
weirdos coming from? You know what I mean? Like, at
In
least
the
like the
universe,
Dothraki.
where is the Scottish accent in the fucking
That's what I'm saying.
ugh,
It's like, oh man, this guy came from Scotland fucking
yeah,
planet. Like, you know what I mean?
like fuck off.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck off.
But so going to that, like this thing just holds my attention. It's
Yep.
unbelievably entertaining to watch. It's a guy movie for sure. I'll say that. It's more of a guy movie than it is a chick movie.
Sabrina's the one who told me about this movie
Okay, then maybe I'm wrong.
before you did.
Yeah, but I think Sabrina's like a girl's guy type of.
Yeah, she's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, it's a great one. You know what? There's a movie that's kind of comparable, but fuck's it called? Like Lock Up with. It's with Vince. What's his name? Fucking
Vince
yeah,
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. It's okay, right? I've watched it. It's okay. And people like they kind of put these in the same category, right? I forget the name of
Yeah.
it, but it's not even close to this movie. Like this movie
Yeah.
is fucking Cooks.
To
And it's like
91.
to 91. Like Vince Vaughn is a good comedic actor, great comedic actor. He's not a great fucking dramatic actor, in my opinion. He's a great comedic actor. You know what movie I saw the first time? Four Christmases.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I thought it was fucking funny as shit.
That's good.
Actually, yeah, I thought it was funny as shit.
He's a great actor. Do you know what movie is tremendous? That if you want to watch a what did you call it? A movie that is on the specific, like a
Oh, like-
Netflix movie.
Yeah, like a Netflix, like a streaming movie. Yeah, direct. to streaming.
Not I don't know if it's Nanas and Nani's with Vince Vaughn.
I've never seen.
I
it.
watched this movie. Legit, I cried at the end.
Really?
I do not fucking cry at movies.
Wow.
It's based on a true story. This guy's mom dies and he opens a restaurant. The restaurant's still open. It's in Staten Island.
Yep.
He got like all his mom's recipes and his grandmother's recipes, and he hired all nannies, like authentic, like Italian grandmothers, as
Yep.
his chefs. And this movie's fucking tremendous.
I'm in. I'm fucking totally in. I love it.
Tremendous movie.
I love
I
it.
texted my aunt this movie the very next day. I texted my aunt and was like, Al's mother. I said, boy, do I have a movie for you. It was so good.
Did she watch it?
I don't know. I didn't text her back after. I gave her a hell of a movie recommendation, though.
Nice. Yeah, it's fine. But like going back to that Vince Vaughn, I can't remember the name of it, Lock Up or something like that. This movie's a great movie. It's great. It's like the perfect B movie.
It's a 91 for a B movie. Stop what you're doing and go watch it.
That's what I'm saying, because I'll tell you right now, like I'll just rate a movie that we probably won't do. But I'll just say I'll give you a movie that we probably won't do. Because if I was gonna pick all of Tarantino's movies, I wouldn't pick Reservoir Dogs. But I'll just say Reservoir Dogs, right? I give Reservoir Dogs like a 96, right? 97, 96.
Especially on originality.
Originality, of course, but part of the reason I give it, I think about it that way is like it's doing a lot with a little. There's not a lot of set pieces. There's not a lot of that stuff, right? This is similar in a way. You know what I mean?
The whole movie is dialogue.
Yeah.
minus
People
the
are gonna
couple-
yell through the thing, being like, "You can't compare a shot call and a fucking Reservoir Dogs."
Obviously, you're not, but you're just like it's a 99. The jump from 91 to 96 is a tremendous leap. You're talking about an A+ movie.
Let me tell you this right now, if I'm being fucking honest, and I'm the biggest Tarantino stan in the world. I fucking seen Reservoir Dogs a million times.
Oh yeah,
I might like shot call more now. I might like it. It's more like, dude, just give me the fucking pulp. You know what I mean?
it is like all meat, baby.
It is all meat. It's all
It's
meat.
a sugar rush. Give me
all
those
sex.
Skittles,
That's
baby.
what I'm saying. It's like,
It's
you know,
not even just sex. It's the very end of sex.
dude, it's pretty much the, oh, by the way, I'm watching the television now. We'll see one movie that me and you are going to see together.
Yep.
28 years later, we're going to see that in theater together.
Oh, so bad. I cannot wait. And another movie that just came out that I actually I had a little trivia question for you.
Yeah.
You know that Final Destination Bloodlines is out.
Yes.
Do you know what the original Final Destination got its idea from? What it is based off of?
See, now I'll say this right now. I watched the new Final Destination trailer the other day in the movies. I
Yep.
am literally like not the audience for Final Destination.
That's okay.
So I've never seen one of them, and this new one where it was like the glass and all this stuff like in the trailer,
Yep.
I was like, I can't. Like, it makes me so uncomfortable.
That's
But go
why I
ahead.
like it.
Go ahead, explain it.
So, well, do you have a guess for me where they could have gotten this seed from? The original Final Destination? Like what stemmed the whole franchise?
I don't.
Can I give you a hint?
Sure.
It is from an old TV show.
An old TV show. Oh, am I thinking about
I think you'll get it.
hold on. Fuck. What's the
Think of an old TV show where weird shit happens.
No, I know. It's what's it called? It's fuck. Why can't I think of it? Yeah. Yeah, where they cut
The
the thumb off.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it stems from an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, it was a great idea because they made jillions of dollars. So like they're
So
just
much money.
printing fucking money off it. You know what I mean?
I still fear log trucks.
Oh, dude, the one where they on the airplane with the fucking like demon persons on the side of the airplane thing. I love that show. It's fucking great.
So good.
All right, so we'll be back next week. That was a great fucking episode. I'll tell you right now why I think that was a great episode. We're awesome. That's the first part.
That's number one.
That's number one. Secondly, just a movie that you fucking need to see. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. When we do 28 years later, right? I think what we'll do for that one is like, we'll do 28 days later, right? Half and half. So, like, if you want to stop once we get to 28 years later,
Yep.
if you haven't seen it, you don't want to hear about it, you could shut it off at that point.
So,
We're gonna
well, we
fucking
still
tell you.
got 20, we got 28 weeks later too.
I know, but I'm thinking
Should we
like
do an
1 or 2.
episode, double feature episode, and then go into
Yeah, I mean,
28 years, 28
yeah,
weeks, talk both,
yeah. I think
and then the very next episode?
then we could do the teaser almost like we do with Sinners.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll do it
I
that way.
can't wait.
Oh, dude,
to
it's the
see
most.
that.
It's the most. I'm excited for that movie, Ballerina. I'm excited for the new John Wick Chronicle one, the Friendship one with Tim Robbins. Tim
Oh,
Robinson. I can't wait to see that fucking movie.
Sabrina's
There's so
been
many
begging me,
movies I'm dying to see
begging
right
me.
now.
Yeah.
Dying to see it. Like that comes out this weekend, I think.
Get your AMC subscriptions, people.
I know. And you know what? I think that if it's out this weekend, I think it's May 23rd. If that's out this weekend, I'm going to see it this weekend.
$20 a year, you get half off movie tickets on Tuesdays is just worth it.
It's fucking great, dude. It's great. I fucking love
And it doesn't matter how many you buy, and no, if you buy tickets right on your phone through the app, there's no service fees.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back next week, and as always, we'll if you want us to review a specific movie, just drop it in
Let
the
us know.
comments of the Cinema Showcase YouTubes or the Instagram. Just send us a DM.
Yep.
Um,
On Instagram, I'm planning on putting some videos out of like top 5 underrated actors, top 5 horror movies. I'm going to be putting some content out there.
I love it.
Just giving you some more recommendations throughout the week. I'll throw up on the story.
I love
Hey,
it.
if you're looking for a movie tonight, check this out.
Throw Elevation up on the story. That needs to go up with the story.
Yeah, I'll put that up. I'll put that up tomorrow.
We might cover that when we get to what's streaming. I feel like that could be one of the 2 movies we do.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I should just tell you this, that we're not getting as many DMs at the Cinema Showcase as pulling the cork. We got a DM today from a guy who's like, now I know why this guy's from the South. I'd never heard of this guy before. He goes, now I know why you hate Italians. He's like, I had Peroni tonight. It sucks. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if you know it's kind of,
Okay.
I don't know if you know it's kind of a joke, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like,
I actually have another podcast with somebody who's like dead Italian.
yeah. By the way, my godparents are both Italian. I grew up in their house,
Yeah,
so
like fuck off.
yeah. Anyways, hey, listen, check us out on all the socials, right? We're not on TikTok yet, right? I don't think we need to go there. That's not for us.
No, fuck
That's for
TikTok.
losers. We're on Instagram. We're on fucking. We're on the YouTube, and then we're on fucking Spotify and Apple. Every Monday we come out, right? See, now I think what's smart about what we've done so far is that we record on Tuesdays, we release on the next Monday. It's great
Yep.
because it's like
It's
it
a
gives
good
us
flow.
wiggle room. Because if we have to push, you know what I mean? Like we got time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the
And it doesn't step on any other podcasts that we're doing's
No.
toes.
No. Yeah. So, all right. Listen, I hope everybody has a great one. By the way, thanks Fitz for subscribing to the YouTube. He's
Yes, hammer the
subscriber.
YouTube, guys. Hammer this YouTube. We want to be a strict YouTube fucking show.
That's right. That's
But
right.
we could be live streaming on YouTube. We got to get the subscribers up to a certain number, and we could do movie watch-alongs. You can hang out with us in the chat if we do live streaming,
Yeah.
and we can answer your questions while we're recording.
That's right.
Have some real fun stuff planned. So
Yep. Absolutely. All right. We'll be back hopefully with Fitzy next week. If not, it's either a menu with Fitzy, but we'll announce. Or
yeah,
it's going to be borderline with me and you. And then after Fitzy, we're going to get your cousin Al on. And
what is he? Are we gonna let him pick because it's
well,
gonna be Fast and the
listen,
Furious? Dude.
I'm in a group text with you and Al where the other day, like, I literally looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is 98 texts of you guys arguing, and I haven't even I'm like, I haven't even contributed to this. Like, I'm like going back through. It's like, fuck you, suck my dick.
Him making fun of my hairline is just crazy that he
Wow.
can't grow a stick of hair.
Listen, families are all about love. We know that.
This
Everybody
is
fucking knows that.
no. Listen, I love him to death. I would fucking do anything for him. He likes to get under my skin, and he's very good at it.
He's probably the top 3 ball buster I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and he holds nothing back.
But you know what? He's gonna want to watch something wicked dumb, like he's gonna watch like Fast and the Furious 6 or something like that. Talk about
He's gonna be a dickhead about it.
Dom. What's his name?
Dom Toretto.
Yeah, I did that on purpose, so he'd be like, "Do you know who fucking
Yeah.
Dom Toretto is? The fucking idiot."
Dumb Toretto.
Yeah, Dom Toretto. All right, listen, but we're gonna give you the real shit. We're gonna give you the shot callers. This is like another hour and 45 minutes. I mean, fucking pretty solid fucking content for people.
And I think the flow went really. I think we're getting there.
Yeah, no, that was dude. That was we're gonna also self-critique at the end of every episode. There's things
Yep.
we want to work on. We want to get some clips in here to play those, but like honestly, I felt like that was like pretty fucking solid. You know what I mean?
It was a good episode. I give it a 91.
All right, we'll be back next week. Peace. Bye.